Whoa, it's dark down here.
Welcome to episode number 12 of Deep Dark Tunnel. I'm here with Chicago, New York rapper and producer Chase Alex. How are you doing this morning?
I'm good. Thanks for having me on the show. I'm excited to answer any questions you guys got.
Of course, thank you so much. Now, when we start off, walk me through your creative process. For you, what does making a track look like from start to finish?
Making a track from start to finish, what does that look like? I'm trying to think, man. I'll do a better job of like telling this story. So I want to say like last year around this time, me and 4 other people, maybe 5 other heads, moved out to Montana for a month, and we were making a lot of music. I made a lot of my favorite songs that I have while I was out there. Making a track out there kind of looked like finding, like, going through loops, or like finding chords where I could find like dope melodies. For me, I'm very specific about what I choose to sing on. I don't know why, I just always have been. Yeah, that's usually where I start. Melody and the instrumental, or at least like a bass line. Whatever comes out of that is usually where I go, so like, somebody would play some cool chords, and I'll pull out my my cell phone and go to voice memos, and I'll start mumbling. I'll be like, mumbling in my phone until I come up with a flow that I feel like is catchy enough, and I just kind of write around that. I kind of write all my songs like they're like, like it's about like every single verse or hook is like it's like a pop hook. So like I'll write like 4 or 5 hooks, and then that'll turn into, a whole entire song. So like some hooks will turn into verses. I'll mesh it together, and then, out of that comes a song. And then I think the final process of making a song and like my process would be like a ton of sound design.
Now, how would you classify or describe the music that you make?
Man, a lot of people ask me this question. I never really knew how to answer it, like how to classify or design, like how to give a genre to the music I make. I don't really know what it is. I just kind of I go with like my influence, but it definitely, I can assure you, it is like modern hip hop, pop, and like that's just kind of like the umbrella I think it sits on under. But other than that, yeah, I don't know. A lot of people will say it's genre bending, or a lot of people will ask me what it is, and like I don't know. I never really thought about that. Like when I'm making the music, I'm just thinking about the process, or I'm pulling directly from like something that influenced the song, and it'll be crazy because a lot of times I'll be like, oh, we'll be working on percussion in the production. I'll be like, oh, pull like these drums from the Party Next Door record, and I'll play like Break from Toronto or something like that. And then I'll be like, listening to something completely random, like My Love with like Justin Timberlake, and be like, yeah, pull a melody from here. It would be dope if we said something out of here, and it just all comes together.
In a world of DIY scenes and underground communities under underground communities, where do you think you fit in as an artist and a creative?
So, I think about this too. This is a question I pose myself in terms of like DIY communities and underground communities. I'm gonna be completely honest. I think I stand out like a sore thumb. But I've always had a lot of appreciation for how people in those communities appreciate my music. I've played all types of shows, and I've played those shows, and I dyed my hair recently, but before that I was looking completely different from a lot of the people in the room and stuff like that. But like sometimes if you pull up and people don't know you, you might get a couple like, who is this guy? Who is this guy in the like freaking like Bape t-shirt, like with that, you know what I mean? And then sometimes you'll be in the room and like, oh, that's Chase. He made that one song. I think it's dope. So like, I don't know where I fit in that community. I don't really think I do, but like they show love, and I think where, when it does come to like me making sense at working at playing those shows or anything like that, it comes straight down to the music. And, that's more important than like image or appearance. So
Now, you're someone who frequently collabs with a bunch of other artists, like people like Land Party, Izzy Hot, Andrew Goes to Hell. And I want to ask you, how important to you is it to cultivate relationships with these new and emerging artists? And where did you meet these guys?
So like this is all like luck, man. Like I don't think I went out of my way to make relationships with like any of these people that were specifically like about music. Like I'm like really just blessed. Like for example, like Andrew Goes to Hell, he was like my lab partner for like audio electronics, and we had just heard about each other. And like because we had heard about each other, we ended up doing like a whole bunch of like lab projects together. And one day I was just like, yo, we should make music. And he was like, yeah. And he sent me a whole bunch of beats during quarantine, and that's how we made Heaven. But that discussion came from us cheating on each other's homeworks. And then with like Lamb Party, I met him at orientation at school. And like his first impression of me, I guess he thought I was like kind of like because we were on clean radio, I'm gonna say a not so nice guy. And it was just funny, man. Like apparently like I kept like walking away from him or something like that while like he was trying to hang out or like talk to me or something. But fast forward, we became friends because we all went to this Halloween party together, and it was like within the first 2 months of college, and we were with a group of people that we didn't know that well, but we like had the most in common out of that whole like random group of people. And like I just remember that night, like we all getting on the train, and like I was just like, that college feeling of like not knowing anybody or feeling uncomfortable. Like he like took that away from me. I remember being like, yo, I really like you, bro. Like you're a really cool guy. Like, I hope we continue this relationship type, And then like we went to this party, and unfortunately, I don't want to tell his business, but like a bunch of frat guys like, pressed the issue with him at that party, and like it got bad, so he had to leave. But I like was at the party. I didn't know that happened, and spent like an hour after like lights had turned on, like going through every room being like, yo, where are you, bro? Like looking for him. And then with Izzy Hot, I was making music like senior year of high school. And a couple of my friends who worked at the, not worked, but were the street team for Juggernaut down the street from where I lived. My friend Jalen, we also have an interesting story about how we met too, but I'll say that for another day. He heard my music, and he would like kick it with one of my friends, and he would come over to my house, and he would always tell me, yo, I got this artist, Izzy Hot. He lives in California, but when he gets back, y'all gonna make some heat. So me and Izzy just like, that's how we got set up. Like they were like, you guys need to work together. And like as soon as he moved back from Cali, we started working together. And like at first we had like a very like artisty kind of relationship, I remember one of the first discussions we had, I was trying to tell him how to like, market his SoundCloud account better, and like use Instagram and stuff like that, because he didn't even have Instagram at the time when I met him. And I don't know, like eventually like our relationship of like, we make music all the time, like that was our relationship, kind of turned into like, we don't make music, we hang out. Like, what I mean? We don't do that at all.
I want to go back to marketing yourself as an artist. How much do you think as a creative, how much time do you dedicate to having to pitch yourself to other people, or having to network and get your name out there, as much as it is to create the music that you're making to get to the masses?
Man, I think my situation is lucky because like I had like a nice little like boost in high school. So I never really, especially in Chicago, like I feel like my name's been floating around just off of like just doing shows. I never really had to be like, yo, it's your boy Chase Alex. Like, rock with me. I'm up and coming. Like, I never really had to do that. A lot of people would find out through a friend or like I don't know, like see me at a show or something like that. I think all the marketing stuff that that is upcoming or like that I've done in the past has always been like just semi me like having fun doing creative work. Like for example, I did this mini music video in the bathtub like my freshman year at college. That was like a cover of a Mariah Carey song, and that was just for fun. It only made it to Twitter, you know what I mean? And that was like a marketing tactic. So like I don't like do any like, yo, I'm Chase, like I'm pitching myself to you. I'm just kind of having fun, and like I have fun doing like I don't know, like in terms of like putting my name out there, everything is creative. Like when I think about it, it's kind of like the same way my parents do stuff. Like both my parents make commercials. So like if I'm going to, push my product, I'm going to make my version of an ad. And that's what I do. But like networking and stuff like that, I don't know. I think I'm really blessed to not have to be in an environment where I'm like, yo, yeah, my name is Chase Alex. Check out my Instagram. I'm fortunate enough to have like friends who are well respected and well regarded, and if I'm in a similar predicament as them, they'll like, if I'm out of town or something, because in Chicago I think I'm pretty good, they'll like vouch on my behalf and be like, yo, this is my homie Chase, check him out.
Now, Chase, who do you have in the room with us today?
Today I got my right hand man, DAGZ, DAGZ, Sir Dickinson. Yeah, can I throw governments in there, or is it like I got DAGZ with me today. Yeah, I'm gonna let him speak.
What's up?
Now, DAGZ, what is your role in Chase's music, in your own music? Where do you fit in as a creative, for lack of better terms?
I've always just been really creative as a human, so I've always just wanted to express emotion and feeling through art. Chase, I met through a mutual friend, Jalen. They picked me up from school when I was getting evicted out of my house in Milwaukee. It was a really rough time, but he's just been my best friend ever since. Shout out Mason, too. Also been a great friend. And I think the relationship started with us just making music, but it's definitely gone through something deeper, and really consider them just a great guy and really focal point in my life.
Now, DAGZ, what is it that you do, or what is your role in all of this?
I would say I'm a basketball player. I'm pretty good. I got a nice jumper, but I'm also an audio engineer, producer, and DJ, and I love helping Chase with anything he needs to get done, just always around to support my role. Yeah, just trying to just help out as much as I can, for real, just trying to be that support. I realize how hard it can be as an artist, because art is so intimate to the artist, and I can never fathom not wanting to put out a piece of music or art that doesn't connect with who you are as a person. So I know how close that relationship is and how important that is. The music should always come first and speak for itself. And I think a lot of people don't view it that way, but I think that all falls down, music is to stand the test of time.
Now, this is a question for both of you, but from recording in your bedroom to recording in studios with thousands of dollars in gear, where does the line between amateur and professionalism drawn in the sand for you? Like, do you think you're more authentic when you're doing everything DIY by yourself? Or do you think that having the opportunity to present yourself in a more, again, for lack of a better term, professional space, do you think that gives you a leg up?
Man, I could tell you stories about the studio, man. I do not go to the studio. I'm recording myself. Paying for studio time, I'm not going to the studio, man. I could record myself at the crib. I got all the skills to do so. I could tell you some nightmare stories about working with engineers at expensive studios. I think me and DAGZ was out at Manhattan Beach in New York, and my management at the time is paying $80, like $100 an hour for a session. And dude didn't even know how to copy and paste my chorus to the other end of the song. So, man, I'm good on the studio, man. Straight up. I'm good on the studio. But we did have some good sessions while we were out there. We had a really fun time on that New York trip. I want to say like 2 years ago, a year ago. I don't even know. DAGZ. I brought DAGZ out to New York, and we made some records. We did like 3 songs in the span of 3 days. I wish it was more. In LA, I think we did 5 songs in 9 hours. So that was definitely, you want to talk about that at all?
So Chase mentioned he loves recording at home, and that's because this dude is an amazing engineer. Chase Alex is a phenomenal engineer. He's a multimedia artist, and that's true and true. He really is. He's engineer, graphic designer, videographer. He does it all. I think that's what makes him so special. So to the average person, yeah, they might need studio time and they might need that extra mixing, but Chase is a phenomenal mixer. Like, so it's hard when you set the bar so high to go into other studio places, because in my eyes, when we're in the bedroom, we got an Apollo twin. We're fucking pros. I mean, we're pros. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't tell me nothing that we're not, I've put our mixes that we've made in the bedroom up against people who have won Grammys and their mixes in the studio on the same speakers, and you can't tell me that they sound better than ours. And that's the honest facts.
Now I want to talk about your song Hard to Blend with Izzy High. Big fan. Walk me through the whole process of like the song story. I know there's a video to it if you want to touch upon that. Yeah, let me know.
All right, so we recorded Hard to Blend in LA. I got this loop from Land Party like probably 2 years before we decided to get on it, and it's the instrumental, and I was like, man, it was a little no disrespect, but it was repetitive. So I was like, man, if we throw a filter on this or something like that, make it come in stronger, like I feel like we could just like fully make it a record, because I love the beat so much. I was like, I wanted to rap on this, So we're in LA, and I had this studio session booked, and me and DAGZ kept being like, yeah, we're in LA, we're gonna cook up, we're gonna make 100 songs. And we made like 1 song while we were out there. Like, it was like our work ethic was so bad. We were too busy just trying to turn up. Like, we was having a good time though. I'm not gonna lie. Like it was a crazy trip, man. So I think it's my second to last day in LA. I was like, man, I need to record some music. So I called my management at the time, like, yo, book me studio time. Like, I need to get in the studio. I got too much stuff on my chest. And the plan was I would go in and I would take like these loosely built melodies, and like I would send them to producers I liked a lot, and like just be like, send all the stems and be like, yo, make a record out of this. And a couple people I sent it to, they sent me like full records back. I made the song Nikon, and I sent the loop to Brandon Shoop, and he just freaked it. He made that hot. So we go in with like these loose, like half done, like, loops that, sound terrible, but like, I'm like, all right, like, we did these little Ableton joints, like, let's just record demos, we'll make like really hot records out of it if we can get a good mix out of this guy. So we go. Dude was definitely not rocking with our energy, the engineer, but whatever, he was doing his job. Nobody was disrespecting him, but he wasn't feeling us, so I'm like, damn, it's whatever. So we're in there, and then like I was like, okay, I pretty much have burned out. Like, I'm like 4 songs deep, and I didn't write a thing that day. I was freestyling everything. I do not know what was gotten into me. So I'm like, all right. Like, if I got this nice studio, I'm gonna get Izzy High on the song. This man's right up the street, so I call him like, yo, get to the studio right now. Get to the studio right now. He comes through, he brings everybody. So dude is already like, oh, it's COVID, it's this and that. Bro, we in the studio like 11 deep. Like, I'm talking about people are sitting on top of each other on the couch. I'm like, damn, they're embarrassed. I'm like, dang, bro, we shouldn't have slid like this. So then I'm like, all right, I have no demo beats. Looked through my phone, I found the instrumental. The song was originally called Toiletries. I don't even know why. Oh yeah, because he said, they need me like toiletries. That was super hot. So then we did that, and we did it. We knocked it out, and we didn't add any additional mix or nothing like that. Lampard did keep hitting me up. Yo, let me play around with it. Let me switch up the beat. So then when we went out to Montana, yeah, we was just like in Montana. We was like, all right, let's go to Yellowstone. Mason, he does like all my visual work. He was like, yeah, bro, like what songs do you want to do? I was like, I don't know. He was like, do that toiletries joint. Like, just do that one. Like, it's done, it's ready. Just please. I was like, all right, bet. And we went crazy, man. We drove to Yellowstone. We shot it in some like weird neck of the like park where it was like it looked like you had ascended to heaven. That's that one scene where it's like snowing really hard and we're like jumping around. It's like a little out of focus. And then the other scene was a bonfire that we had built next to the cabin that we were staying in, and just sat around it. And it was like freezing cold out. And DAGZ kept trying to like throw like lighter fluid on it, and like kept like jumping away whenever like the fire rose up. So if you don't see the fire, like, yeah, it was just funny, man. It was a lot of funny stuff that happened in Montana, man. A lot of funny stuff. We definitely was on a ranch. Izzy had definitely let out some people's horses that we had nothing to do with. You know what I mean? Like, into a neighborhood. Like horses, live horses into a neighborhood, bro.
Well, fun stories all around. What are your plans for the future looking like? And what's something you want to accomplish within the next year? Where do you want to see yourself a year from today?
Right now, the two things that are most important on my, you feel me, every day are applying to school in London and finishing an album. I don't want anything too long for my debut. I want to do something small, short, sweet, and then I want to move. So I want to put out a project here. This is what my future's looking like. This is how I have it mapped out. And I don't want to say too much because it might ruin the story, but whatever. I want to record a project. I want to have it done by late August. In September, I want to drop it, have a nice little release party, and then probably the week after I drop it and release it, I just want to move to London. So I'm applying to school in London right now, and I'm hoping I get in, fingers crossed. Nah, I'm not hoping. I will get in. I'm manifesting it. Yeah, I just want to dip. And like while I'm out there, you know, I have an uncle that's really important to my life that lives out there. And he does music stuff, and while I'm out there, I want him to executive produce my second project. And that was, you know, the plans don't always work out how you want them to. So, you know, I'm not banking on these things. These are just like my work fantasies. You see what I'm saying? Like, exactly, it's the vision. It's like when I'm doing the dishes at work. It's like, ha ha ha. Like, that's what I imagine it. My life is gonna be like. Yeah.
DAGZ, do you have anything you want to accomplish within the next year?
Within the next year, I hope to become a better cook. I'm really working on my chef skills. I want to eat better, live better, you know, do some yoga, stop smoking, you know, really focus in and hone in on mental health. I hope everyone has a great mental health for the next year. Mental health is important, and health is wealth.
That's beautiful. Who are some artists right now that you're listening to that you want to spread the word about? Someone that's not getting their flowers, someone that you want to put a spotlight on?
Nobody, because I only listen to me. Nah, who could I plug? You know, 454, very talented dude. I like his music a lot. Shout Izzy Hot for sure. He just did a song the other day, or maybe a week or two ago, and that's in like my everyday rotation. I just hope he drops it. It's been sitting around for 2 weeks and it's like a hit. It's just like, bro, put it out. Yeah, I could play it for you after the interview and let me know what you think.
Some artists I would want to plug. This guy named Jin, Jyn. He's a Korean artist from Hoffman Estates. He's going crazy. Another artist from the suburbs, Adan Diaz, going crazy. They're both on like the indie side of music. On the more rap side of music, I gotta shout out my boy Soap San. Soap San going crazy. Chicago legend. If you know, you know. Soap really is like, he's really a special artist. Of course, Izzy Hot You had Fiji, shout out Big Body Fiji, one of my favorite artists since I was like 15, 16. And to see the growth of Big Body Fiji has been so insane. And then the last artist that I will shout out is, Sydney August. I feel like I feel like Sydney is gonna have a great. You go steal the mic.
Yeah, shout out to Sydney. I gotta do that, man. I gotta give Sydney the shout out, man. Cause that's what got my start. Sydney put me on when I was a young lad. I was like 17. She was like, "Get right." She was like, "Come on, it's time to make music." I'm like, all right, let's do it. Nah, I'll give it back to you. I'll stop being annoying.
I don't even know. Sydney is such a special artist. I feel like her vocal and her relationship with this guy named Castle Engineers, phenomenal engineer. Their relationship and their production style as well with Marquise, and they have a great team. I feel like they're really up to have a great future, and they're just overall just great people. So I feel like beyond the art, the relationships in music is what you create and what lasts forever.
Well, Chase, DAGZ, thank you so much for joining us on an episode about a Deep Dark Tunnel. Where can the people find you on social media and streaming platforms?
Yeah. You could find me at One Chase Alex on Instagram and Chase Alex on Spotify and all streaming services. And I think Chase of the Island on Twitter. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, he's right. Chase of the Island, native Chase. But you can find me at AYEDAGZ on Instagram. And also check out on Instagram at IZZIHOT24. Izzy Hat 24, RIP Kobe, RIP Bean. Thank you.
We've got some tracks coming up for you now. Thank you so much for joining us down the tunnel. Don't get lost on the way out.
Now playing Hard to Blend by Chase Alex and Is He Hot?
Shoot it like I'm ballin'. I be singing like a hollow tip. Hundreds on the water, had a dog, got the drink. Pink color, had to get it on the go. I thought it saw you in a dream. Till the morning when I called you, ooh, home. Lately it's been hard to blend. Sometimes can't hold a hand. It was the month of Jan. She was just a nominee. I'm in New York with Stan. Go downstairs, let them in. I got cheat codes and tricks. They need me like Jordan, like the rest. Had them shaking in the party. She be up all kind of. Her pills look like some Smarties. I can't do the hood girls no more. I want a Barbie. I can't play no games, baby. I'm not Izzy Harvey. I don't know the money list. I don't know they pockets. She said, Tracy, how you get it, baby girl? I went to college. Like you got a scholarship. Shoot it like I'm ballin'. I be singing like a hollow tip. Hundreds on the wall, had a dog, got the drink. Pink color, had to get it on the go. But I thought it saw you in a dream. Till the morning when I called you, ooh, home.
Are you an underground artist that wants to be featured on Deep Dark Tunnel? Check out our Instagram for more information at Deep Dark Tunnel Radio.